Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Yeehaw! Well, thanks for coming to another Last Man Standing. Stupid O'Clock was really good tonight. If you didn't watch it live, then you owe it to yourself to watch the replay on YouTube and several other places. Please feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make comments on the YouTube. And, we'll figure it out probably tomorrow after I get home from work that somebody did all those things. Not keeping track, it's not important. People that like this, the people that don't. And we just do it because we having fun. I do hope that Dawn and Michaela and Carl do know they're welcome here anytime, as long as they're willing to stay up late. And in Carl's case, upset the cats greatly because he has not gone to bed yet. But then again, tonight we got Joe and Donna, and if I can scroll down far enough, we got Dawn, but she's off screen at the moment. When she pops back in, she will be here live and in charge. Well, I'm in charge, but there she is. So
About time, Dawn.
I know. I knocked a bunch of shit off my table next to me, and well, in order to get it behind the couch that I'm sitting on, that's not an angle that needs to be seen.
So if Michaela's still watching, I have something that may be of interest to her. Dan, you saw this in the pre-show of Stupid O'Clock.
Okay.
Sure
Had me wondering there for a moment. Oh yes. Let me.
Oh my.
Nope.
That's funny.
There you go. Finally remembered how to do it.
And yes, it is on a full paddle there. Then that that one during my impromptu live stream the other day when I finished up one and went, I'll do one more. Why not?
Remember, folks, this is artistic license, and some licenses are extended a bit further than others. And here we have Rich getting here now, so everything is doing just fine. And Michaela says she needs that.
In which way do you need that, Michaela?
Please
Maybe
don't
I
give
should
me
change
straight
my
lines.
construction sign to say not the green room in the back there.
I do want the t-shirt that says not the green room with that on there. Nothing against Nick's graphic, but that was the original not the green room put up.
Yeah.
Well, no, the original was banners that people had and stuff like that. It's just, I decided to, get scribbly.
Oh, Michaela's getting serious.
Dear. We starting business negotiations now.
Ooh.
Which way do you need that?
Pardon me while I whip this out.
Oh, my.
Oh, dude, when you turn your head, you have a hole in your head. That's freaky.
They always say they could see through one ear and out the other.
Well, proof. We have
Technically, there should be 7.
Somebody's been watching a certain movie preview.
And if you talk internally, then it becomes 8.
That's okay. During the pre-show, I also thought that I should just do the show like this. So
what you need to do is do that, but have your background be like Nixon's head from like The Simpsons, or not Simpsons, Futurama. so that you fade out, and the entire thing is just your body. You see your hands coming up and doing stuff, but it's Nixon's head because of the saturation. Or some other,
headsman.
Yeah.
There are some conventions where that's tailor-made instead of Joe-made. So.
Actually, with her new Rogue series, I would go along with it.
Damn it! Now I'm gonna have to look at her actual image and.
Oh,
do you have it? I can send it to you. Oh, you should have it though.
I kind of have a low resolution version of it.
What about the one that I just uploaded for Indie CD for the calendar? I just uploaded a picture on there. I don't know what the resolution is on it.
Well, hell, I'd have to find the calendar on that website again.
The resolution is to lose 20 pounds and walk 3 miles a day.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Wrong kind of resolution.
To bring up to Dan's point, Ted goes to bed at 8:00, and some people know, some people don't know. Thank God we live with Ted's mom. If we didn't, we would be beyond absolutely screwed with everything. So I wait till she goes to bed before I pop on. So.
Well, I mean, as with everybody here and everybody from Stupid O'Clock and all our Rising Tide friends, you're always welcome.
I know. That's why when she went to bed, like, I got to pop on for like 5 minutes just to, harass Joe Dog a little bit.
Oh, everybody got to have a hobby.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Joe and I shop at the same place.
What, the place that sells the orange shirts?
Apparently, I just realized that. I looked up, I'm like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. The University of Tennessee.
I can't raise up high enough to show the company logo.
Oh, mine's just an oversized V-neck T-shirt that I'm wearing as jammies.
I was going to say, you're showing a bit more cleavage than Joe is.
Well, hers is a bit more interesting than Joe's. Seriously.
No, that all depends on who's looking.
I can shave it. I won't wax it, but I can shave.
I don't like bare chests. I hate that fashion.
Well, damn, I'll keep my shirt on then.
You know, naturally, bare's okay. I mean, it's just but
No, it's not naturally bare. It's more steel wool these days than anything else. But
that's fine.
Yeah, I need to change the construction sign on this image.
no, I don't think you need to. We're doing all right. I mean, seriously, we could get much more rivaled, if that's the right way to say that word. I've never actually heard anybody pronounce it, so I don't know. The first sci-fi convention I went to, yeah.
Okay.
Never heard anybody say it before, so I've only read the words. It's in my vocabulary. It's not in my pronunciation guide.
One thing I love about reading is you can name a character anything you want if you don't know how to pronounce the name.
Mm-hmm. I usually try and spell things phonetically, which sometimes includes 60 extra hyphens and just take a box of apostrophes and throw it at the screen. It doesn't matter.
Carl, there's only one B in it, so you would be wrong. Says the English teacher. You want to talk about strange names? My cousin just had her third baby, and they named her Grayleigh Ann. Greyleigh. And they're going to call her.
Okay.
Now, the upshot of this is that my white cousin is married to a black man. White, black, they've got a daughter named Gray. I really wonder if they thought this out.
That one's poetic. Oh no, I can hear somebody in school calling her Gravy.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't gonna float.
Okay. So Crow. Their birth name is Seraphim. When Misty and I were thinking of baby names, Misty wanted to name them Aurora. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I cannot do that to a child. And she's like, what? I'm like, I've got no problem with Aurora being a middle name, but not a first name. Because little kids, their R's and their W's get mixed up, and someone's going to eventually call her Ahura. I'm like, not happy. She's like, that's mean. I'm like, think about my name. Richard, one of the variants is Dick. And if you mispronounce my last name, the first syllable is ass. It's actually asp. The P is part of the first syllable. Asp, Lund. 2 words pushed together. Dweller of the Aspen Grove. Apparently it's Swedish. Well, I mean, I knew it was Swedish because that's where Dad's biological father was from. But
I had a similar situation with my job title.
Yeah, I was.
I told the lady that does the payroll that I had already figured out that there are certain ways that I can abbreviate my job title that I will not use on a vacation form. So I am a quality assurance technician.
Ooh,
there is no way that I'm going to put on an
quality
official form that I'm the quality ass tech. Yeah. Now, there may be people that are going, oh man, that'd be so cool. But no, trust me, for corporate, it's not.
Again,
Donna,
my mother's
I can
first
hear you
name
thinking.
Yeah.
My mother's first name is Vivian. She married my dad. Last name starts with a D. She initials everything with her middle initial.
I can see why.
Mhm.
It's no use giving the smart Alex easy ammunition.
And then the Woodsman dude chimes in.
thought he already
Oh, I
did
got to
have
put that
that.
one on. I got that one on screen. Yeah.
I thought he already did that.
No, he's just a quality ass.
Oh,
And you can take that any way you want to.
Mm.
No, I was lucky. My mother would stop and think when she named all of us. I had two older brothers. One is now deceased, but they were Dale Curtis and David Cecil, DC. They were 9 and 11 when I came along, and they said that my name had to be with the initials DC. So she wanted to name me Dawn K, but spell it CAE. Dan's already got it. Oh.
They
Oh
came
my
at the same
goodness.
time.
Oh my
Serendipity.
goodness, yes. Anyway,
That's either a bad job or a really fun job, depending on how you look
Your
at it.
orientation, yes.
why did that not show up on here?
Carl, knock it off.
anyway, fortunately, as I said, my mother thought about it and said it out loud a few times and then realized, no, that was not the name she was going to name me. Say it real fast.
No, I have.
Don has, yes.
But with Crow's birth name, it took a few tries before I could convince her to switch to something else. So Aurora is one of Crow's middle names. So that was fun. That was an interesting fight because Misty's like, "You're so mean." I'm like, "I was made fun of because of my name. I'm going to be very particular about what I name my child."
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are 2 acceptable mispronunciations of Aurora that would be perfectly fine. One would be the name of an X-Men character, and the other would be the name of a Star Trek character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfectly respectable in both venues. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I can well understand your concerns about.
Kids are assholes. I know. I was
that,
one.
yeah.
And I still
Yeah.
haven't grown up, so I still am one, technically. I'm just trapped in a big body.
But being tongue-tied and having trouble with W's and R's, I totally understand his point of view with that name, because even now I would have to stop and say it very slowly in order to get Aurora out correctly.
Mhm.
It was the happiest day of my life when Woolworth moved out of town and I didn't have to say that name anymore. Because
I'm glad that store closed.
if I say it fast, it comes out Woolworths every time. Even now.
I just accept there's certain things that my mouth doesn't do what I want it to do. So
I have that issue a lot of times when I'm streaming.
Get out of my head, Rich. No, I have ancestors when being confronted with the store Woolworths would inevitably give it a nickname of Woolly Boogers or Woolly Bully or something like that. And, that's cute in a child, but from an 80-year-old lady, it's kind of, you got some sarcasm genes you passed on to me, didn't you?
And once you get something pronounced incorrectly, you can't seem to get that out of your mind or out of your mouth.
Mhm.
It's not talking, but typing. I can't type the word remote. And I worked at the call center. I took calls on TVs. I typed the word remote all the time. It always came out remto. So now it has actually referred to as a remto in this house. Dear, can you hand me the remto?
Pritner.
What was that, Rich? Sorry.
Pritner.
Mm-hmm.
That is how I spell printer. But I'm dyslexic. I get a pass.
I just couldn't make my fingers do what I wanted them to do. Shut up, Dan and Rich.
Ha! I was getting blamed. My mouth was the one opening.
Donna is offering training classes.
Okay. The loud noises you're about to hear is me fixing my printer. It's actually how HP says to fix my printer. So I apologize.
I remember this. It's going to be a thump.
Fixing the printer.
I think the warning could have come first.
He warned us.
He warned us. Yeah.
He warned us. He didn't warn Misty.
Poor Misty. She's probably going, I'm scared to walk in there now.
Well, no, she's afraid I fell.
Oh.
Because of the issues with my neuropathy in my leg.
With the way it sounded through these headphones, it sounded like he fired a gun into the ceiling. Yeehaw! Boom! Whiskey for my men and beer for my horses.
This is a much more powerful mic than I was using before. So,
Lord.
It's my mic from the office for recording the voiceovers for any of the e-learning that we were doing way back in the day that we used like years ago and we haven't touched since. So I'm like, screw it, it might as well get used.
Poor kid.
Pork chops and applesauce.
And after that one, I got to go ahead and put Carl's comment up that I told him be quiet. But
oh my God, poor kid. I could see her doing that on a promo.
honey, if she could reach, she'd never leave the house. Did I actually say that? Oh, Michaela, I'm
Not
sorry.
the green room, Dan. Not the green room.
Here's the thing. Do that, print someone's face puckering up, and then give that to them as a present. So the next time someone says "kiss my ass," they can just whip out that paddle.
Oh, don't give me ideas.
I will say this right now: I am horrible with actual faces, so keep that in mind.
I think our ratings just went up, though.
Yes, you are, Rich.
Oh.
All right, that didn't work.
And Michaela, I'm actually doing a little editing to your logo.
Oh, that's right.
Taking out a bunch of the marks that are inside the letters because A, those will never transfer correctly, and B, I do not have a fine enough tip or steady enough hand to try and do all that.
Not the green room.
That's what she said.
We're getting all the extra double entendre points tonight.
Oh yes.
I know. And tomorrow, tomorrow night, everybody's going to be on
tomorrow
live
night. We won't have anything to talk about.
Oh yeah, we will.
Was that last week?
Double. I
Thursday
think we
night
hit
was
the
a little
triple word
crazy.
score on some of those.
Oh dear.
I just find it interesting that y'all have left catching the hashtags and writing them down to one of the people who doesn't hear very well. And then
That's what makes it so fun.
But that,
But
yeah.
At least you spell everything correctly when you do hear it. Oh.
This is true.
25 secretary.
Could. I have often wished that the comment section on YouTube would allow you to run a spell check first before you hit enter, and then I go, I never look at it before I hit enter anyway. So
well, it does come up with that little red line underneath the misspelled word.
Yeah,
of course, that's not that much help.
Yeah, especially if you're not looking at the screen. Oh, we have another. Oh, it's Joe coming back. Okay.
Apparently, my internet just decided to go, screw you.
Hey,
but such a welcome. Oh, it's just Joe coming back.
No, I was going. Wait, I hadn't noticed he'd left. Actually, it was so he was there, and I wasn't looking at the screen, obviously. And then he came back, and I'm going, wow, okay, another customer. Break out the no-dos.
Yeah, I got to quit leeching off Bill's Wi-Fi tonight, apparently.
Oh, God. One of these days, we're going to have to do a GoFundMe to get his own connection. Or we're just going to have to go, Bill, robot voice.
Or we could just go, Bill, stop being so stingy.
Well, could do that.
Well, he's got all that money for those toys and Beatles stuff.
Yeah, but some people's lifetime ambition is to be a Toys R Us store. Richie waving his hand, yeah.
Or a Lego store.
They're still packed in boxes.
Rich, you've seen the page, right?
Well, it's about time, Michaela. I mean, that's good, Michaela.
About time she went to bed? Yeah,
No, about time she finished another episode.
Good night, Michaela. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mwah.
Good night, darling. Oh.
Rich, you've seen the Dork Cave 2 Facebook page, right?
No.
Oh, look up the Dork Cave 2 Facebook page. That is that's Ted's life.
For Christmas, many moons ago, I got Misty the little Lego set that was the werewolf. Because Misty and I are both big werewolf fans.
The start of it all.
I don't know what started Ted. I don't know. We have we have Tatooine Endor, Hoth, the Death Star, the entire ceiling covered.
Pretty.
And I see absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Honestly, I don't either.
That all reminds me of the episode of Mythbusters where Carrie and them got all the Legos they could get to make this big round ball. It was about 6 foot high because they were going to recreate this Lego ball rolling down a hill that had been on YouTube. And they actually ended up showing that it had to be trick photography because as it rolled down the hill, pieces flying off like this. But they emptied out, I think they said 3 stores. They were on the coast in order to get that many Legos to build this huge thing. Just thousands of them.
Surprised they didn't contact Lego directly. I mean,
Right.
They did. That's how they got all the Legos out of these stores.
Okay.
Mm. Well, this store's got this many. This store's got this many. They're expecting you to be there on time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why with Ted, when we're up at my parents' in Minnesota over Thanksgiving weekend, he makes me go to the Mall of America on Black Friday
Oh my.
because he wants to go to the Lego store.
And it doesn't
love
have
them.
an outside door.
Nope.
Of course not.
But he gets there. We get there right away in the morning, and then I get my Caribou coffee, and he does his shopping. And
coffee made from real caribous?
I wish no, but it's better than Dunkin'.
You have to
Better than
grind them
Starbucks.
really finely.
No, all coffee is not agreeable to me. So
Oh,
What were you trying to order the other day?
what was I trying? Oh, donuts.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
was like,
the donuts are fine.
The thing that they're actually known for.
I got to go back to Royal Donut here in Danville and get another nut roll.
I
We
will
saw-
thing that's like
back
that
in a few
big.
minutes.
They're huge,
Okay.
yeah. We go and it's like $4 for one, and I'm like, Jiminy Christmas, they were only like $1.25 or something last time I was there.
But they're 5 times the size.
Yeah, see, so we ordered 2 because I'm like, one for Carl and one for me.
And you made it into 8.
Mhm.
Well, I imagine Carl probably ate about a tenth of one.
No, he did pretty well because the nuts are chopped up pretty fine. But
Oh.
yeah, she hands a sheet cake box out. And we're like, what the heck? And then Carl hands it to me, and I'm like, well, why are you oh, that's why you're struggling. Oh my God. Yeah. This big around and about that thick and delicious. But yeah, only ordering one from now on. I hear
There
their
was
eclairs are bigger too.
There was
That's
a place. It was a little hole in the wall place. It was right around, well, not really right around the corner, like a quarter of a mile down the road and around the corner from where I worked. It was a bakery, and the donuts were freaking huge. I wasn't expecting an apple fritter the size of my freaking head. And it was like $3. But this is also, back in the late 90s,
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, an apple fritter like this. Oh, and the bear claws. Oh, dear God.
Oh,
I miss that place.
please. I'm trying not to be your size.
Well,
And I also miss the friend that introduced me to the place, too. He passed away last year.
Sorry.
this place is under new management. The owner wanted to retire, and he sold it to a place who has 2 coffee shops in town because they don't have donuts. They wanted donuts and that sort of thing. So they bought the recipes and everything, and they truly did not understand what a real donut shop goes through, especially in this town. They would open up at 6 and be sold out by 9.
Wow.
And this is a shop that used to be open 24/7. But you'd go, you drive by, and the line to the drive up would be all the way down the drive and out on Vermilion Street. And they don't have a very big lot, and it would be full. Carl and I never go to any place when it just opens. So it's like, a few months.
Yeah. See if it's still there in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, to answer your question, I don't know what the actual percentage is, but there was actually quite a few storefronts. But what was weird was that there was a lot of storefronts that were doubles and triples and stuff like that. So
If they don't, they've got really good muffins up there, Carl. Yes, Mad Goat Coffee
Mad
is
Goat Coffee.
Mad Goat Coffee's who bought them out.
Yeah. Lindsay texted me at work today and asked if I was going to stop at the grocery store on the way home, and I told her no, I'd really rather wait till tomorrow. Not that I had to rush home today, but weather was not the best, and
Mm-hmm.
I really just was tired from everything I had to do at work. But evidently, the grocery store had kindly offered us a very generous coupon for the expensive fruit juice
Mm.
that I take to work to drink with my lunch rather than buying soda pop. And I go, well, yeah. Remind me that I need to get another jar of either JFG or Maxwell House coffee because Tennessee boy, JFG is the king, but Maxwell House is the viceroy. So I've got enough left in my jar instant coffee at work to last me for maybe all day tomorrow and 1 or 2 cups on Monday. I didn't need to run to the store today, but I will need it sometime next week, really quick next week.
Night, Carl.
Good night, Carl.
good night, Carl.
Not Carl.
That Witzman dude.
Yeah. Fuzzy kisses her Aunt Donna.
No,
And,
somebody asked me one time. I'd come into a room and I'd greet everybody but Carl, and somebody called me on that one time, and I'm like, why would I do that? We're in the same house. I just talked to him. So that's when I started calling him the Witzman dude.
So when you're home and it's just the two of you, he's Carl. But when you're around people, he's Witzman dude. So that's
Mhm.
separate persona.
Mm-hmm. Close your eyes, guys.
Nope.
why? Is it going to get obscene?
That was.
You can tell. Oh, you
Without the
want me to
hand.
let go of your butt?
It would make it easier to walk off to the bedroom, yeah. Leave the butt here. You go ahead.
Shoot, that butt's so small, if it left it here, he wouldn't be able to walk anywhere.
But Ted's butt's really small. He's got a teeny butt, but it's so cute.
Butt's not what I look at anyway, so.
We're not going to talk about that.
Sure we will. Tomorrow.
Not if he's within earshot.
Oh.
Y'all are dirty. I was referring to his facial hair.
Uh-huh.
Is that what the kids are calling it nowadays? Oh. It almost sounds like some of the kids that we get at work that have discovered that I no longer have any bucks left to give. So if they ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. And usually in my blunt, pithy fashion. And It can lead to some hilarious results depending on the question. I swear we
Honestly,
got one guy that comes in. It doesn't matter what I say, he's going to laugh, even if I'm not trying to make a joke, even if it's not remotely funny. He's just going to laugh. I'm going. You haven't discovered Monty Python yet, have you?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, according to some of the family, I've never had any fucks to give, so I've always stated what was on my mind.
Lifestyles to aspire to. Oh,
Yeah.
I did remember the right word. I was surprised I did that. Took me a minute. You noticed the hesitation.
So-
I'm super
it's a
excited
horrible
about
thing.
Monday.
Family on the west side of the state's not speaking to me, but hey, they can't take me as I am. Too bad.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm looking forward to Monday, because then I get to be one year closer to being the crotchety old lady I want to become.
Fuck them if they can't take a joke, and joke them if they can't take a fuck.
Exactly.
So your birthday is Monday?
Yes.
Oh,
Merry Birthmas in advance.
Thank you.
And Dawn, I was a grumpy old lady long before I was supposedly old enough to be.
Well, I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
If you listen to my mom, I was a grumpy old man before I was born.
I've had the joints of a grumpy old man since I was 15.
You know, Rich,
he
that's what
rolls
I'm
them
kind
too
of starting to
tightly,
go
doesn't
with.
he? He rolls them too tightly, doesn't he?
One more time. Oh,
You
they
like
roast-
blunts a little bit better. You like it when it's a little bit more blunt.
Oh,
Actually, no. That kind of intoxicant actually makes me very ill.
it does
Fair
with
enough.
Carl too.
I actually know
Or at
a
least the
lot.
contact highs I received from them just did not end well.
I actually know a lot of people to where it could basically replace Sominex or some of the over-the-counter pain relievers, but that's about all they ever get out of it. And I'm going. I can vaguely remember what it used to be like when I was back in college, and it was fun. But sorry, priced me out of the game. Too damn expensive.
I have to microdose, otherwise I do get sick from it too.
Yeah.
It's very true, Chris. All my favorites are on the east side.
Apparently, I need to get my phone back up.
I'm not even going to try and turn that into something.
Or Dan needs to show something on the screen I missed. Should we start doing pre-hashtags?
That was in reply to my the west side doesn't talk to me, and I really don't care.
What happens when she's facing south?
Didn't I show you that couple?
These thoughts just occur to me. They have no relationship to reality in any way, shape, or form, or anything anybody else has said. It's just read the words and go.
Mm-hmm.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Anyway, Don, if you need any lessons about being a grumpy old lady, I'd be happy.
I'm doing pretty good, but if I need anything, I'll let you know.
Okay. Always willing to spread my knowledge.
I am tired tonight because I've stayed up way too late this past week because I started watching NPC D&D.
NPC D&D.
Yeah, it's the Viva La Dirt League guys,
Oh God, I love them.
and they actually 2 years ago they started on a D&D campaign, and they filmed it, and they do their little things like they're, how they do their little skits, and they do that in between. And each episode is about 20 to 30 minutes. And they've got hundreds of these. And I'm like on episode 20 and I am hooked.
One of my favorite things that they did was the journey of the one NBC that is the fisherman, and it's like a half hour video. Yeah, it's just a half hour where he ends up saving the princess and doing a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, and he's forced to have to be a PC type. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
As they're doing it, the guys that like Bodger, Rowan who plays Bodger, and Alan Adam, they all are playing their characters that you know them for on the skits. So it's even funnier because you're like seeing what Bodger's really like and what Greg, the garlic farmer, adventurer. And it is, oh my God. And they do have, what's his name, Balavin? I can't remember what his name is. He's actually in parts of the scenes of the beginning part of it. It's hilarious though. Oh my God.
One of the folks that I watch on YouTube just started I suppose you would call it a rebuttal to one of those well, it wound up being like an ancient astronaut sort of thesis for the video, and it was on I believe Netflix. And
Not saying Netflix, but Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wrong type of. Never mind.
No, it was very much like that, but this guy is he'd be fun in the green room. He really would. He just, no censorship chip at all. And he's actually operating off of common sense and his recent degree in archaeology. So he does not like the pseudoscientists at all, and folks that kind of sensationalize common everyday shit to be something fantastic that it really isn't. Anyway, Minuteman is his YouTube handle.
Okay, yeah. He's actually got a Netflix special?
No, he's critiquing a Netflix special.
Okay.
But his
critiques I really enjoy him. YouTube. He's fun.
He is, yeah. I discovered him about a year ago and or thereabouts, and
I only ran into him a couple months ago, and it's I ran into his shorts when I started seeing the shorts pop up in my feed.
I really like his style, and he knows his shit too. So he's coming from the point of view of a person with an education and no patience with the incredulous phantasmagoria of some of the other ancient astronauts sort of videos and programs. But when he's talking about stuff he's actually walking around and finding, he's a wealth of information.
Check the screen share, Dan.
Oh,
It's finally electronic.
Oh,
nice.
And I was here when it was written, it was drawn, and it was colored. I was through the whole inception.
Actually, yeah, you were on the show when I actually drew and colored that in.
Yes,
So now I can actually use that to create a T-shirt if I want.
Yes, you can. Now, usually I'm not invited to the consummations, but thank you.
Do you want to cut the cord? No. My part was the front end. This is your job. You know, did you get any footage of the birth? No, I got some nice footage of the consummation though, or the conception. Misty hates that joke, although it's stolen from Jeff Foxworthy. So, but yes, I now have it
immortalized in electrons.
Better than the half-ass photograph that I had of it.
ass.
Now it's no longer half-assed. Huh?
It's whole ass.
Now it's 3/4. It'll be whole when it finally becomes a T-shirt or a mug.
Oh, God, I got way too excited about the mug thing too. Because I never use mugs, right? Ever.
I don't know. We're pretty good about mugging for the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember coffee every day girl over here?
But that's what all the banging was for, is so that the scan.
Do not the green room sign.
It would be all right if somebody had said that, but when Rich says it, I go, "Oh, this is gonna hurt."
That's what all the percussive maintenance was for. Is because the scanner head gets jammed from dust, so it actually has to use percussive maintenance to shake the dust out of the gears.
Stop, Rich. Just stop, because it's getting rickrolled.
The sad thing is, when I start on one of those little diatribes, I can't until I.
You got to keep going.
You can't stop until you finish, huh?
Gotta go to completion.
Gotta have that money shot.
Have to get the release. Yes.
Otherwise, you end up with blue. Never mind.
And the
This
studio
is Dick saying
audience,
you have to go to completion. You have to have that
the
release.
studio audience may be wondering why the company I work for would be really glad when I retire.
That's because then you could stay up until 4 or 5 in the morning to do this.
What makes you think I don't?
I was going to say.
Well, every night.
Every night.
Saturday,
my wife
he
would
tapped out
complain.
around 5 or 6, and Nick and Nita and I still continue to talk till like 7.
And let's see. Oh yeah, that was Sunday morning, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to work the next day. Sunday night I did have to take a sleep-inducing over-the-counter medication so that I could get up and go to work Monday morning. I hate it when that happens. I hate the damn things, but they're about
And
once a month they turn out to be necessary.
Evil necessity, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm debating on if I'm gonna hop into Nick's live stream before it starts. And I might even wear a green shirt just so I can just be a floating head when he logs in.
Have fun with it. Life's too short.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
And
I'm looking at your paddle.
It's a shame that we can't do the what you call it here, copyrighted music, because there's Talking Head songs that would really fit with that.
Aren't you
Who
going
is
to be
this
happy when I
beautiful
get my
woman?
new glasses?
And you can
Who,
see.
who's which beautiful woman? You got to be more focused than that.
No, Talking Heads, beautiful, beautiful wife, beautiful
Oh,
car,
okay.
beautiful house.
Same as it ever was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Watching a craftsman at work.
And we didn't even need to go to Sears.
But it's guaranteed first time every time.
That's what Rich said.
And lifetime replacements.
Oh my.
If you break it, you get a free one.
Oh my! I shared.
Usually.
Where's my 10-foot pole?
Your 10
I
foot pole.
shared. I
Because I'm
shared
not going to touch that with.
I shared the NPC DVD link on my my other personality on Facebook.
Ah. I wondered why the iPad was telling me somebody had posted something, but it was too small for me to read.
See, this is what happens when it's too small for me to read.
It's a teeny tiny iPad. Well, it's an average size iPad. It's one of these days I got to get glasses that actually work. That would be nice. 50 years and I've never been able to find glasses that actually work. They're fine when I get the eye exam, and then by the time I get in the parking lot with a new pair of glasses, I can't see out of these things at all.
Well,
There are one or two places where I actually do get good glasses, and then there's one place where I'm supposed to get free safety glasses from work. They have yet to get everything right to where I can actually see through them.
get what you pay for.
Yeah, I usually wind up paying $200 for the free safety glasses. What with
Oh
the
my God!
the eye
That's so
exam,
cool,
the
Joe.
glaucoma test, and all this other stuff.
It's just
You what?
the way you just jumped back when it switched back over to me.
Well, that's because
Ah!
I had to
Didn't
get
know I
that
could be so
close.
big in your face, did you?
Whoa.
Ready for your close up, Mr. DeMille?
So much I don't even know where to start. I'm laughing too hard. You have. Love you.
Because I found a new show on YouTube today called Oddities, and it's this couple that go to strange places, and the one they went to that I saw was it's pronounced Zizik, Nevada.
Never heard of that one before.
It's just west of Baker, Nevada, which I remember because that's my father's family name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were traveling from California to Las Vegas, and they saw this exit sign that said Zizik Road. So of course they had to go down it. Zizik is a real word. It's the last word in the dictionary. And the road is only open during the daytime. It's closed after, I think it said 5 o'clock at night. But it's just like an oasis out in the middle of the desert. This man had bought the land, was going to do mining on it, and opened a spa instead.
Oh, wow.
Has a man-made lake in it with palm trees in a nice circle around it, or oval rather, and people went out to enjoy the natural hot mineral water, which they, which this couple says turned out to be just plain water pumped in from this lake that wasn't too far away, and put two boilers so it would be warm. Evidently, he was quite a quack, but they, were, they went through what they could go through. Part of the town has been bought up by local university, and so those buildings are um, off limits to everybody. But yeah, it showed they they, they do their homework. They had the whole history behind this, and it was very interesting. I'm like, I'm gonna have to look up some of the other stuff they do.
I wonder, was that the only episode you had watched?
The only one I've seen so far, it just happened to pop up in my YouTube thing, and I'm like, oh, probably because I follow another couple that goes through Illinois lost towns.
Yeah, I think you posted them one time, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that one. Yeah,
They don't do they do kind of history. They know the history of the place. But when they went to a town up north, they found this big round stone. They couldn't figure out what it was for, and this farm girl's sitting back going, well, you sharpen your plow with that thing. It's just a huge grindstone. But yeah, I like that stuff, and the people going through the abandoned houses and that. I'm an architect freak. I kind of thought about being an architect once, but that's a very competitive uh, career choice, and I'm a very lazy person. So I was like, nah, I wouldn't want to do that. I'd have to actually work at that.
Oh, hey, Vistaprint has shirts in XS.
what was all that? You roboted it.
Something about shirts and size.
I said Vistaprint has shirts in extra fat ass.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten shirts from there before. They're very good. They're very nice.
And Donna, that's one of the things that I went to college for.
I know.
Only
Like
University
badass,
of Georgia does not have a school of architecture, so I had to go through the art department in interior design, which is sort of parallel but not as
Mm-hmm.
all-encompassing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that, quite frankly, um, I wasn't gay enough to be able to pass those classes. So I'm going, wait a minute, I got to be gay to be an interior designer? And they go,
It helps.
if you want to go to school here, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it has come in handy with all the drafting classes that I had to take. It is given me a little bit different perspective on my artwork and how to do the kind of photorealism stuff that I really enjoy doing when I'm doing
Mhm.
art. But I'm too impatient for it. I can get it designed and see what I want, and then part way through doing the painting or the drawing or whatever, I just get bored with all the detail I've got to put in to get the photorealism result that I want.
Mhm.
When a more cartoony style is all that's really necessary to convey the point. And it's probably one reason why I don't do that many paintings anymore. When I'm really enthused on something, get the painting done in less than a week, and it's really sharp edged and detailed and things like that. But if it's something my heart's not in, it's going to be slapdash and look like a cartoon panel from a comic book or something, which is, the nothing
That's
wrong with
fine.
that. Nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly legitimate style. It's just not what I was intending when I started.
Speaking
So
of,
I have a question. How many paddles do you own? The fact that you could just pick up and start doing a paddle tonight.
That's the last one of that size.
That's begging a certain question.
yeah,
And that's why I left it open ended. That didn't come out right either after I said that.
That's all right. We weren't going to touch it, but you go for it.
nobody said
I did
anything.
it.
Uh,
I just thought about that. I was like,
That's worth
He just-
5,000 points in the green room.
he just has a random paddle sitting there that he can put Michaela's face on.
Well, it's still the same one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I'm just adding
I
her
didn't see
brand
that
to the back
side.
of it.
yeah.
Okay.
And technically, the other ones are supposed to be like cutting boards,
Yeah.
but they could
Or-
be used as that.
I've seen them about that size that are used. They're sold to be used for excuse me, the small pan pizzas.
Mm-hmm. Like
That
it's
sort of
used as cutting board for cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Charcuterie.
Some night
Yeah.
I'll show you guys. I'll show you my wood.
Oh wow. And
Cut
yeah,
them
no,
out,
I'm
send your
thinking the
next
same
away.
thing. I mean, is Trey gonna be all right with that? Okay, I had to
She'll
say
be
it.
fine.
And she doesn't care who he shows his wood to, apparently.
Well, she
She's seen
knows
it.
if I try and show that, I've spent a lot of money on a camera that I don't need.
Next thing you know, Rich is gone.
It's only going to get used once at that point, and the zoom is fantastic.
I didn't know they made electron microscopes for homes.
There we go.
Oh shit! Did I
Oh,
actually say
you
that?
said that, yes.
Make that big.
You
Make
Okay.
Hey
Damn it.
Dan, make Joe's
Dan.
wood big.
There, that is gorgeous.
Hey Dan, can you make
Dan.
me big?
I
Make
can.
Joe's wood big.
Well,
I
I
can
don't
make it
usually do that sort of thing, but
That is fantastic.
That looks awesome. Oh my god, she's gonna love that.
And then it's got that on the other side.
mm-hmm.
All right.
He may have found a side job.
dear, oh dear.
Right.
I wish my mind would leave me alone sometimes.
Okay,
Did you see
okay.
Don's-
I'll take your mind off that, Dan. You were talking about realistic pictures. Have you seen Willis Schuyler's latest picture that he posted?
Probably not. No, I haven't been on Facebook that much in the last week or week and a half.
It's one of her glamour poses,
Uh-huh.
but it looks more, instead of like a photo, it looks more like a print. And I made the comment that looked just like the cover of Life magazine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it
I need to look that up.
It was really cool. And then somebody in the castle here got on there and said, well, now I have to explain to the kids what Life magazine is. And I'm like, it's a good thing I'm so lazy. I'd come back to your office and pop you one for that comment.
Was that a Witsman dude that said that? Did you guys see that bonds are funded like within 8 hours?
Wow. No, I hadn't. I wasn't following it, but wow. I wish Grant would. I mean, he's doing pretty well,
Yeah.
but before, he's always premiered his Kickstarter on somebody's show. And it would get like half funded by the end of the show. Well, he didn't this time.
And now he's getting discouraged because it wasn't as fast as the others.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it took like 2 weeks to get funded halfway. And I think too, some of the depression over that is still about losing Mooney. That it's kind of
that makes perfect sense.
Because I think he and I won't blame him for this, but this is kind of Mooney's send off.
He's promised to keep Mooney in future issues.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that this was his what's the word I'm looking for here? The
tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah. This is number 5. There will be a number 6, which will tie up this story and in this series. But then he's going to do another Beowulf. 6-story series. I'm like, good, because you promised me some other situations that he'd be in.
And knowing you, I am not going to speculate.
Well, he's talked about making a futuristic one, having the same cast of characters, but he talked to me before he started doing Beowulf because he knew it was one of my religion's myths, and asked how I would feel about a comic that did that, and I'm like, well, it would depend on how you would handle it. And so he told me what he was going to do, and I'm like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And it has been.
This is going to sound right, but at least it's not another Superman or Batman.
Yeah. I mean, I like Supes, I like the Bat, but so many.
Yeah, there are so many other archetypes out there that could be represented, and doesn't have to be one of the big companies. It could be somebody independent that comes along and has this vision of something that just resonates with people, and you love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Rich, with the way you're sitting and the way the name and everything is lining up, you look like a cat that's getting ready to pounce.
Either that or he's doing Kilroy was here.
Speaking of cats, why I had to step away real quick and mute the microphone. Apparently, Barry decided that Misty is his property.
I think you have prior claim.
So yeah, I gotta have a talk with that boy. As Dan would say. But yeah, it's he marked her. He is good.
Yeah, you roboted on that. What did he do to her?
He marked her.
Uh-oh.
She is livid. He is lucky. He is an adorable little bastard.
Speaking of adorable little fur balls.
Oh, Carl back in there?
Get out of my head.
No. I usually don't do breakfast. And when we do lunch, I usually have bacon and eggs because my blood sugar's high enough that I need just protein. And it also means I can't have toast with it. So how do you stop up the yolk? Well, I hated throwing the yolk away, and I just one day put it down, and Truck was like, "Oh, this is good stuff. This is great stuff." Well,
Oh,
Monday I had breakfast with my bestie, so I wasn't home at noon, and she didn't get egged then. Tuesday we went out. We fed them and then went out, so she didn't have egg then. She did have egg yesterday, but today Michaela was coming over, and we generally get Little Caesars when she's over here. I wouldn't want to say I spoil the cat, but
You spoil the
I
cat.
I I fried an over easy egg and cut the white away and scrambled up the yolk so that she would have her egg today.
mhm.
So I am, and then she got part of my blueberry muffin. So I'm a good mommy today.
You're talking to the
Lindsay.
people who give their cats canned pumpkin every night, like clockwork, on a paper plate that's cut in half, and they both get their own plate, and you have to sit on the floor with them. While no, not spoiled at all.
We can't do that. When charcoal first came in, we fed them and they won't eat out of the dishes that we had for the other cats. They won't eat out of the cat bowls. Have to put them on paper plates. So when charcoal first came in, Carl put 2 paper plates down with an equal amount of soft food on them. They ate off the one together, and then they went and ate off the other one together. So since then, it's been on the same plate.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so cute.
Except now,
Lindsay.
Charcoal just eats a little bit, and then she comes in and watches me at the table. Aggie, mom, Aggie, I'm
There,
ready.
there is a bread that my mom found that doesn't screw with her blood sugar nearly as much as others. Uh, Lewis bread. Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Bunny.
Huh?
Lewis is made by, well, technically Lewis bought Bunny, but it's
Oh,
Okay.
one of the flavors of Bunny bread.
Well, sourdough's not. I do pretty well, but the sourdough that you buy in the grocery store is like whole wheat bread. Or not, yeah, whole wheat bread. It's grainy. I don't like that. I tried the keto bread, and I don't see a difference. So I'm like, if I've not seen a difference, I'm going back to Sunbeam White.
Ah, Mike Jimmy.
hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
I met Jimmy.
You're usually not
Hi.
awake until Sunday morning. Um, well, no, you got to go to work in the morning just like me. Uh,
Yeah, this is Friday or
yes, it
Thursday
is Thursday. Yeah.
so
No,
far.
no, it's no. Well, technically, it's still Thursday until I wake up.
It's Friday for
Some bimbo.
It's
Mike
Thursday
Jimmy.
right now.
It's
Oh,
not
well.
midnight yet in Illinois, so we're still Thursday.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
Yeah,
say
well,
it's Thursday.
But Mike Jimmy is 7 hours ahead of us, so it's morning over there.
Well, we know that.
It's
Oh,
at 6
nice.
a.m.
first day at a new job. All right.
Nice.
I'm hoping that you did not get overly frustrated with. You sounded like it when you were doing your animation today. So please step back, took a deep breath, and hopefully. I watched his part of his live today, saw the very end.
I was at work. I can't watch anything at work. I'm not even allowed to read Google News.
Ugh.
Believe me, it's I really shouldn't say. Um, I really shouldn't. Tomorrow night, ask me. We're not being recorded. Lindsay has found a new way to spoil the dog. Kimber is your typical hyperactive female German Shepherd puppy, about 10, 11 months old. She stands about 8 feet tall, and Mike Jimmy is here. Okay, and there we go.
Hey,
And
Morning, Mike.
Steve.
Hi.
Kimber
Thank
has
you.
started
Hey, brother.
nagging Lindsay for a share of Lindsay's breakfast tea. No, we're talking about
English tea.
English tea, heavy on the milk, no sugar.
Not
And
surprised.
the dog is now sitting and begging anytime Lindsay's got a teacup in her hand. Usually in the morning, but being English, tea is not a time of day sort of thing. It is more like any time is a good time for a cup of tea,
It
especially
is.
if it's been a stressful day. And now Lindsay is
I
wondering
see
why
you.
the dog is so hyper.
So
And I'm
I
just
don't.
going, there's a cause and effect here, but I'd like to remain married, so I'm not going to point it out.
It's called caffeine.
Well, everybody's heard of Pavlov's dog or
Mm-hmm.
dogs. I don't know if my wife Pavloved the rats or if the rats Pavloved her.
They might have Pavlov
Both.
each other.
It's rats. Rats will Pavlov you, and you will Pavlov rats.
Yeah.
Out of experience, we used to have 10 of them.
Ah.
Beep.
Well, she will every time at night. They know when we get up. They'll start moving around, and they'll get their treats. And then at night, they know when it's time for her to take her one nighttime med, because they'll start waking up and they'll get treats. And then they know when it's bedtime because she'll be taking her bedtime med, and
When
they'll
they
get
get their
treats.
treats.
Yeah. Yeah. They train each other.
Yeah.
It really, it's a synergy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
If
she'll
you-
be sitting
if-
in the recliner, and all of a sudden they'll start moving around the cage and staring at her, and then
Yeah.
she'll look at the time and go, "Oh, I need to take my meds."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cats do that to us during Nick's show. It gets
Oh.
close to 10 and
Nick comes on and it's time for the cats to take their meds.
well, about the time he finishes.
Mm.
He usually finishes at 10, especially on Mondays and Fridays, because Nita's show comes on then, and he doesn't want to go against her.
Mm.
So yeah, there'll be one in Carl's
Sure.
office staring at him, and one on the desk beside me here staring at me. Like,
So can we get to sign off first?
yeah,
Oh, Mike, I don't know
Oh.
if you were on when I was showing this earlier.
Probably not, because I literally woke up 10 minutes ago. Oh, nice. That's a spanking.
And Michaela liked it so much, so I added her.
Great. I approve.
Are you feeling better? You looked really flustered, Mike Demi, at the end of your live today. You just looked flustered, and I felt so bad.
No,
Oh.
it was a problem that I have been struggling with since 2 weeks ago. Like, I haven't been able to do anything animation-wise besides hang on animation. So, yeah, every week after I've already, worked all day, I have to problem solve again. Not the easiest. So my concentration is a little lower usually, but
Mm.
whatever. Like it's for fun. And I'm not gonna be bothered. And we're gonna have to see at what my life looks like next week, because my side job is not giving me any work, so I need another job.
So you start a new job today then? Like
Yeah,
you're getting ready to go?
This is going to be a try day. We're just going to try out. And I have another interview on Monday. Working in a warehouse for 4 days a week. Honestly, I don't care what the work is, just as long as it's constant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, like that's it. And this is going to be sewing by hand. So
Sewing by hand.
mhm.
Ooh.
For fire-resistant materials.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's a certain size needle you're going to have to use because that's some really tough stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And well, I'm used to lifting. I'm used to
Mhm.
working hard, so I might as well see what this is.
Mhm. You want me to keep on stumping for you on my page?
I mean, I'm not complaining.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. Like the gap is still there in my budget.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad took care of it, but I still got to pay back my dad. And anything that I make, pretty much, is going to go into going to the United States. So
You heard that there's a chance that me and Michaela will be there, right?
there's a high chance everyone here is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Better be. I've already bought a table.
There's a couple images that Donna has shared that you've done, Mike.
Yeah.
That would be, I think, would look great burned into a piece of wood.
Honestly, yeah, I work in black and white.
Yeah, and
So,
that's what I deal with when transferring the images over is just straight inked drawings. Yeah. And there's a couple of them. Let me see if I can pull this one up real quick.
Ooh, a collaboration.
Yeah.
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
There it
Okay.
is. If you could pull that up for me, Dan. That one there, I think, would look excellent on a piece of wood.
Yeah, that one is fun.
This one would look great too, but I do not have the time nor a steady enough hand to attempt that one. Not to mention all the fine lines.
Hold on, let me give you something else then. No,
excuse me.
No.
Rough day today.
One repair. Here, how about this one? If Dan wants to share it. There we go.
Ooh, that would look good burned into a piece of wood too.
Yeah.
I want that as a coloring page.
That is possible.
And now Mike Jimmy is farming out.
Let me see.
That would be fun as a coloring page too.
Yes.
I got so many of those. There it is.
Yeah, why do I see the Animaniacs coming out of the water tower?
Oh.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So the
that
white
would be cool,
here.
that diamond art stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
So this is one of my first successful digital pieces.
Ooh.
And older stuff. This is drawn in A2 as well, so 17 by 22. Minotaur.
Hey, that looks like me in the morning.
Speaking of rats.
Aw.
These are the great architects. They know
Nice.
exactly how every building works because they're so small. They know if your foundation is right or not.
Ooh, that tree would be fun.
There's the
Ooh,
Fairies and
that'd be
Ice
fun
logo.
too.
Yep.
This is a concept for discontinued comic.
Ooh, that's
Older stuff. This is all fine liner in traditional art, by the way. So, yeah, this too. Love and Korra concept. Love and Korra. More Love and Korra. The holder. And the color version of what I uploaded. And this is for a children's book that never got published.
Shame.
Yeah.
That is it. So, let me see. Let me go to newer scans. Because there is so much here.
Oh wow.
Ooh. Now that looks like one of my mom's oil paintings, actually.
And ancient comic pages. More children's book stuff. Swan
The
Dragon.
bad part is I'm looking at some of these ink drawings and going, I could turn the one shading tip I have on its side, and if I do a light enough hand, I could get those fine little lines without.
Oh, careful, Shelby.
Yeah, you see something, you go, oh, that would be great. Now, how do I learn how to do it?
Well,
There
the
we
thing is, everything I do is transferred on.
Yeah.
I print it off as a mirror image, use a little acetone, transfer it onto the wood, and
So that is my tattoo. That's my first tattoo.
okay.
That's on my chest.
Rough sketches for Korra.
Mm-hmm. Literally the very first. The alphabets.
I know where that's at.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was supposed to be a collaboration. I had to turn someone's flower pot into a dwarf's house.
That's
So
cool.
we've got a little fairy on the swings. I'm sitting here. A tiny leprechaun gone. The hell are you doing in your house? Yeah, this one was fun. This was Slime Android. I have no idea what that was. This is the cover for My Cup of Tea. And I took a photograph top down of a cup that I put here and then photoshopped that in. And this is a character for Infinite Guardian, which is a discontinued comic. And here you see that, yes, I drew this one in 2 pieces. Love a quarter 3. So, yeah. Lots of work.
Joe, are you
Right.
salivating? Sorry, I have to get that close to see up close, so. That was awesome. That was just neat.
Excellent work.
Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed.
We may have to talk in the future for one of my books.
Hey, hit me up. I'd love that.
The next one, though, is a Hunter's Ridge, so it's the traditional silhouette. And Carl is not happy. The main bad guy is a stalker and a peeping Tom, so I want a silhouette of a man peering either over a bush or in the bush, so I think we're going to find a bush Danville and have Carl and take a picture from the back, and then he can silhouette it out, which he's pretty good at. Because my last Hunter's Ridge, Name of the Father, I needed a woman with a baby on her hip, and the one that's on the cover is my great niece and her son.
Oh, look at that.
That Carl silhouetted. But my other books I have regular covers on.
I thought about bringing a canvas and oil paint and stuff to Hallowcon, and just to while away the time while I'm sitting at the vendor's table, start.
I mean, that will pull in people.
Well, I'd start working on the what I hope will be the cover artwork for the fantasy novel, and then I thought oil paint. Just one weekend, load it in the car and bring it back home. And about how much of a chance in hell have I got for it not to be damaged in a 3-hour drive in Georgia traffic?
Yeah.
How about just a sketch pad? That would be a great way to have people stop by and chat and.
Well, the sketch is going to be done on a light board, because I've got 3 photographs that I have to combine into one scene, plus stuff I have to make up out of my own head to connect the 3 different photographs, because they're all going to be different scale. And the entire thing, if it's 11 by 17, it ought to be about the right size for the photograph of the finished work to be suitable for a book cover, front and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without the text, because that'd have to be added in later, post-production. It would be front, back, and spine, actually, because it would be wraparound the way that I see it. But there'd have to be.
That's like this one.
Yep.
This is one. This is another picture. Then he changed the color on that, and then he added the paintings on it. Carl is doing really good for the Photoshop.
Well, I mean, it could all be done as photographs, but it's been ages since I did an oil painting, and I wanted to go ahead and do it myself, because I've had a lifetime of training. Started with my mom teaching us, all the kids, how to do this, that, and the other thing. And then in school, I got one of the little awards for my graduating year for, I've been in marching band and all this other stuff, but the award I got was for my art classes, go figure. And then in college, I was an art major, and I had done a couple of things that they put up in an exhibit really early on, and my advisor walked through and looked at everything on the wall and go, "Oh no, we've got one of those." Because I was doing sci-fi illos, because at that time I wanted to do paperback book covers for science fiction novels. That was what that's a
great thing to do.
Yeah.
How close was that, Mike, Jimmy?
Yeah. I was there technically to be to turn interior design major into a backdoor audition for being an architect, but I wound up, everything that I was doing was tied around different science fiction fantasy things that I was reading. and
Yeah.
I, I was imaginative at it, and was picking up the technical skills that the school approved of. But believe me, if I had just studied with my mom, I'd have been much better. Because
Like, Jimmy, how close was I to the kitty's cat's name?
The kitty's cast meme.
It shall be.
Yeah. Shelby, right?
Shelby,
Shelby.
yes.
Shelby. Yeah.
I got it right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did.
Oh my gosh, that must have somehow got into my long-term memory somehow.
You've seen her a lot, both during the 24-hour challenge, and she
Mhm.
usually peeks her head out during any live show I'm in. So
What you doing, Dad? Sorry,
exactly.
Dad, didn't mean to interrupt you, but cat.
no. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Um, uh, actually, you saved me from sounding like I was self-aggrandizing right there. So
No,
I'm
not
good.
really.
I'm good at what I do, but what I do is very limited, and it depends
That's
on how interested I am in what I'm doing.
Dan. Let me teach you something about that. That is called being a specialist.
Hmm. And I would take absolutely no shame in that whatsoever.
He's
However, I was in there to get a degree that would let me earn a living, and I'm going, as a janitor, right? Because nobody's paying interior designers anything anymore because you're a dime a dozen. Nobody's paying architects anything unless you're fantastic. And
Yeah.
it's a very competitive field too.
well, this is the 70s.
Mm.
It always has been a very competitive
Mhm.
field, but
That's what I'm
I
saying. That's why I considered it and then went, nah, I'm too lazy for that.
hmm
I'm sorry,
but
Dan. All I could think about is you designing something that looks like the end of Party Line.
He calls himself limited. He's a writer, he's a musician, he is
Yeah.
a painter. Yeah, you're limited.
But I will say this: doing some kind of drawing, even if it's just sketching at the table, will definitely pull people in.
Yeah.
Because I've done that at Arcticon. Because normally Nick and I share a booth, and his wife and my wife share a booth, and me working on my wood burnings while I'm there. I don't know if it's so much people are smelling smoke and trying to figure out where it's coming from, or
depends on what flavor of tobacco it happens to be.
there's been more than once at that event that all of a sudden I'll hear Nick go, "What's on fire?" Oh, it's Joe again. Never mind.
Oh, and
Joe
and
is on fire.
Donna, I also build furniture for my own home,
Hmm.
and I
You do auto mechanics, you can do
That's what I was
plumbing.
just gonna say.
yeah,
You can.
I'm in the middle of replacing the water heater. Um, when I bought the house, I had to learn how to do plumbing. Yeah. Okay. I'm a farmer.
Tell me about it. The first time.
I have to know how to do every damn thing.
You're a
Chris
weatherman.
gets
The
gets
first
it.
time we had some plumbing problems after we got married. Uh, I'm like, oh, I'll call my dad, and he's like, just call a plumber, and I'm like, a what?
Those
Call
exist.
somebody outside of the family to do
Yeah,
this?
really.
Well, look how I was with meat. I had no clue that you didn't go to you could just go to the grocery store and get meat. I thought you had to call somebody up and have an animal butchered in order to get meat.
Hmm?
That's where I grew up, how I grew up.
What do you mean? Get an animal butchered? We butchered our own.
But you know what
Yeah, my mom worked in the meat room of the grocery store as a meat cutter. So it was funny.
You were very careful not to upset your mother, wasn't you?
For many reasons. But Dad, being in HVAC, knew a lot of cops because construction and the police force go hand in hand a lot of times. Especially since my dad very often would be working till midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. And then, of course, the cops would slow down, drive by. What's going on? My dad was doing sometimes 3 and 4 furnace installs in a day.
That ain't easy.
No, by himself.
It's not a simple job.
My dad can do, well, not anymore, obviously, but I mean, my dad was able to do 3 installs by himself, completely by himself, in the time some other crews that worked for the same shop that had 2 people on it, he could do 3 in the time it took them to do 1. But Dad was assholes and elbows when it came to working.
And had the experience necessary to know where the shortcuts could be taken.
The younger crews spent half the day bullshitting with the carpenters and the plumbers and the electricians. Dad would do it, but Dad would do it while he was working. So that's actually why we got so many plumbers and carpenters and electricians to help build Dad's house when Dad literally built the house himself. They would come over for pizza and beer and stuff like that. But yeah, Dad knew a bunch of. So I'm getting far off topic. Dad knew a bunch of the county cops. So whenever someone hit a deer and the cops had to put the deer down, they'd call Dad out to come get the meat.
There's a list back home.
There were a lot of times where waking up to go to school, go down through the laundry room to go out through the garage, and all of a sudden there's a deer carcass hanging in the middle of the garage. It's like, all right.
We got a lot of venison for this month.
But that's kind of has come to what you're doing now, Rich, with just networking with all of what you're doing now too.
Yeah,
you learned that from him.
Another funny thing with Mom and Dad is their life was actually saved because of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay, you got some explaining to do, Lucy.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't just do that little cliffhanger and try and walk away.
So I used to be part of the cast performing Rocky Horror Picture Show, We're the Tiny Fools. And Mom and Dad went out to a wedding, and for some strange reason, they wanted to go to breakfast afterwards, which they never do. I got done with Rocky, and I wasn't feeling well, so I decided not to go out for breakfast, which I never do. When I get home, I open the door and immediately get hit with a wall of smoke. Actually, I get home, I'm like, it's really hot, it's really weird. Something smells like burning plastic. So I walk around to the back of the house. I'm like, it's not back here. What's up? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I have no idea what it is. Open the door, get hit with a wall of smoke. Apparently, if I'd been a few minutes either side, I would have been living the movie Backdraft. So immediately I see the flames and stuff like that. The car that they took had a load leveling pump. And apparently the load leveling pump sometimes wouldn't turn off. But the car also had an oil leak. Well, backwoods, what do you do for oil leaks? Sawdust.
Oh.
So right below this overheating load leveling pump is oil.
A flammable substance soaking up oil.
So, yeah. I'm banging on my parents' sliding glass door. My dad, is in his skivvies, and he's looking at me. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, "The garage is on fire."
Was it an attached garage?
Yeah. the garage was actually the other side of my bedroom wall.
You slept toasty that night.
So the insurance adjuster for the entire deal hunted, and it was past the time that my dad was able to get out and hunt a lot and stuff like that. So he noticed the deer on the wall and stuff like that, which my dad got his first day of bow hunting season, the first time he went out bow hunting, with the first arrow that he fired. And it's a decent size, and he turned it into, the head's mounted, the hoods are racks for guns or bows. Actually, he had his bow on it for the longest time because that's what he bagged it with. So they were talking about that, and the insurance adjuster's like, yeah, I hunt, and I hate paying the processing fees because, you're paying the processing fees, you're dropping your deer off, you're not necessarily getting your deer back. All right, he dropped off 100 pound, worth of venison. He's getting 100 pounds of whatever. So he made a deal with my mom that when he goes hunting, if she'll cut the meat, then we can have half. So for the next several years, we were not wanting for venison, and one of the funniest experiences of my life. This is back when my middle sister was still my biggest bully. I'm the youngest of three. So my middle sister's 4 years older than me. She's literally my first bully. She's also the one that fell on my head as a child. But anyways,
explains a little bit. Go on.
It explains a lot.
You digress, right?
Yes.
I wasn't dropped on my head as a child. My sister was dropped on my head as a child. But my mom was 5'1", 5'2", right in that range. She was a tiny woman, especially compared to me. My middle sister was maybe 5'4", between 5'4" and 5'6". My sister's like, no, I'm not gonna. And she couldn't even get out the rest of her sentence. My mom had speared her, was sitting on her chest with a spoonful of, I think it was venison tacos or venison chili. Eat it. Open your goddamn mouth, Brenda. Eat it.
Yeah, talking about not being sure you get your own meat back. We eventually had to have the locker up in Hoofston do our meat after my dad threw his pack out one time butchering a hog. So we would raise a cow a year and send it to the locker and get the meat back. Well, one year, Mom and Dad were at work, and I was home from school, sicker than a dog. And I look out the living room window, and the cow is out. And we lived on Illinois State Route 1. You ever try to run a cow by yourself? One cow needs at least 6 people to corner. And I'm out there chasing this sucker by myself. And I remembered something my Uncle Chet said. And I stepped in, got the shotgun down. And this cow was standing up against this white hen house. And I stepped out the basement door, sighted, and boom! And the cow looked at me and walked right down the fence line and into the pasture where she belonged. And I'm like, damn, Uncle Chet was right. If you shoot them with buckshot, they'll walk right in. So I hurry down and I make sure that the gate's all latched and everything, and I'm walking back up, and I happen to look at the hen house, and there's a silhouette of a cow in buckshot. And the cow by then had come up the corner and was just doing her cud and looking at me. And I walk up there and I'm like, oh crap, because there's little flecks of blood everywhere, and I'm like, oh, crap. So I made sure to have supper waiting when the folks got home that night,
Like
and
that's gonna work.
I waited until after he'd eaten, and I said, I got something to tell you. I shot the cow today, and he had quite a temper back then. But Mom's like, no, it was your uncle that told her that story. You cannot punish her for shooting the cow.
I'm sorry, it just sounds funny.
So we send the cow to the locker when it's time, get the meat back, and we're sitting there that winter having a roast, and all of a sudden Dad goes, "Well, we need to get our cow back."
All
But
right.
yeah, if you're all alone and you're trying to get a cow, then shoot it with buckshot, and it will walk right in. To God's honest truth, I saw it happen.
I'll ever think of that if there's ever one walking down, my street here in a town of 100,000 people.
So we had a cow loose on our job site one year.
Oh dear.
No, cow.
Darn it.
Smart asses.
Oh man.
So we had just opened up. Richie, you'll know where this is at. It's State Road 2 between LaPorte and Westville, where it's now come behind the three houses instead of in front of it. And I'm at the field office. Just went out to the Porta-John, and I hear gunshots. It's LaPorte County. We are out in the middle of BFE. I'm thinking it's a farmer trying to scare off some coyotes or something. So I don't think anything of it. Next thing I know, my cell phone's going off. And it's one of the other techs that was out on the job site at the time. So I answer, "Hey Al, what's up?" "Get everybody out here, I got a fucking farmer shooting at a cow in live traffic." Click.
Yeah.
What?
That's
Needless to say,
specific.
yeah.
No, you don't have time to ask questions. You just have to react quickly.
Yeah, needless to say, I finished up in there very quickly, went running back into the trailer, told them what went on, and God love Dave, the city boy that he is. He went, "We have what?" "Yes, cow being shot at by the farmer in live traffic on State Road 2. So here goes this caravan of construction vehicles down the road with their lights going. And by the time we get there, as you saw in the picture, it's laying on the side of the road. Well, he didn't have the right size shot to take it down with one shot.
Oh.
And come to find out, because we ended up asking the farmer, what the hell is this all about? Apparently, 2 cows and a goat had gotten away.
The beginning of a joke.
Right. Well, the goat thought the one cow was mama, so it followed that cow wherever it went. They managed to get one. They set up a little makeshift pen, got the one cow to go in. The goat followed, got them actually loaded up on the trailer. Finally got this other cow to start going into the pen. As soon as the farmer's wife went to close it, it freaked, kicked the gate back open, launched her about 10-15 feet. And at that point, the farmer had enough. And then we had to call the other farmer that was closer and just down the road to bring the skidster down to load up said cow.
Said X cow.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Dave tried to do the deer pose with it. He tried, holding it up by the antlers. He grabbed it by the ears and tried to bring it up.
No.
Well,
The physics of that are not really operational at this point.
yeah.
And then there was the group photo.
Oh man.
Well, one of my things was not only did I not want to lose the cow on the road or down the road or anything, if somebody hits that, even if you're not home, you're responsible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if somebody, gets hurt, you're responsible for all that. So I'm like, get off the road.
Yeah, no.
That, yeah.
Well, I almost hit a herd of cows one time. It just got to be evening. It was winterish. So, I mean, it was dark at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. More like 5:30. And I go to drive, and I'm with one of my friends. I'm like, what is that? And it's just when you can go out of small town, going from 30 to 55. So we're just starting to accelerate. I'm like, I slow back down, and there's a herd of cows in the middle of the road.
And they don't move.
What? No. And their eyes don't reflect like a deer. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, couldn't go around them because they're literally a herd of cow in this deer in the middle of this road. And this is back in the late 90s. So nobody had cell phones. So I turned back around and go back to mom and dad's, and they're like, well, I thought you guys were going to go to that. And I'm like, I almost hit a herd of cow. They're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So they called it in, and by the time that the cops or whoever, they had kind of migrated up towards this little river thing by the creek. They were by the creek. But yeah, I was like, what the hell? I almost hit a herd of cows.
Oh, right. I hate to interrupt, but
It's
we've
that
gone
time.
2 hours.
Yeah.
I've got to play the bedtime story. We don't have to go home, but we can't stay here. So, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, in real time or in the future, we've had a whole lot of fun just doing this. Hope you had a whole lot of fun watching it. If you didn't,
Then why are you here?
why not? Seriously. In any case, go good guys. Like I said, nobody got to sign off. I just got to drop everybody down and play the
Night, Chris.
outro.
Good night, lovelies.
Good night.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.